Business credit cards are simply one of the best tools to start and grow your business. However, if you don't know exactly how they work, it could be catastrophic to your business and personal credit. In this video, I'm going to explain how recent changes from one of the biggest lenders in the game have completely shaken up the business credit industry, and everything you need to know to prepare so that it doesn't negatively affect you. One of the biggest advantages to business credit cards is that they don't report to your personal credit. This allows you to invest high amounts of capital into your business without getting hit with all of the negative effects on your credit profile. Unlike personal credit cards, which can have a devastating effect if you spend too much on them. But in the last week, a huge change has been reported in the business credit space. Multiple individuals are now reporting that their business credit cards are popping up on their personal credit profile. One cardholder stated that their business credit card, which had a $12,000 balance and a $30,000 limit, started to report on their personal credit profile and instantly dropped their score almost 30 points. And it gets worse. This cardholder, whose business credit card was only 2 months old and had a balance of $10,000 and a limit of only $15,000, was also negatively affected. This time though, their credit score instantly dropped almost 100 points. And that's a crazy drop to happen at one time. And whether this is a permanent change or a temporary mistake, as you can see, it can have a devastating effect on you and your personal credit if you're not prepared. By the end of this, I'm going to tell you not only what cards are being affected, but exactly what you need to do if you find yourself in a situation that this happens to you. Stay tuned. This is a major issue because business credit cards usually have a much higher limit than personal. Most of mine have limits of $20K or higher, and I tend to use them a lot more than my personal credit cards because of business expenses, which are obviously a lot more than my typical living expenses. And this is a big reason why most business credit card issuers normally don't report accounts and balances to your personal credit profile. And even though with a lot of these business credit cards, you do have to personally guarantee using your personal social security number, it's still common that they're left off of your personal credit report. Can you imagine if you woke up one day and checked your credit report and boom, there's a debt on there that's reporting that wasn't the day before? Well, that's exactly what happened to this card holder. As you can see, their Chase card is now reporting on their personal credit profile as of February 2025. Luckily, this user wasn't holding a huge balance on their card when it started reporting to their profile. This could absolutely destroy your utilization rate, which makes up 30% of your overall credit score. And not only that, if it's a fairly new card, it could also have a negative impact on your credit age as well, which is another 20% of your overall credit score. That's 50% of your credit score being impacted by data points that really shouldn't be there in the first place. This is an easy way to go from credit scores in the 700 quickly down to the 600s or worse. This could hurt your chances at getting approved for future business products as well as personal ones like loans and even mortgages. Now, this isn't to say that business credit cards never report on your personal credit. They can, but normally it's only if you're delinquent on your payments or if you're doing business with a lender who is known for reporting business credit cards on your personal credit profile already. For example, Capital One Business Products. The Capital One Spark business card is notorious for reporting these accounts on cardholders' personal credit profile, regardless if you're up to date or not. And that's a huge reason I'm not the biggest fan of cards like that. But the institution in question today isn't Capital One. It's actually the biggest lender in the country. And the lender that we're talking about today is none other than Chase. And the cards that are being affected are the Chase Inc. business cards. And I really hate to hear this because Chase is personally one of my favorite lenders when it comes to the business side and personal. One, as I stated before, they're very generous and tend to give out higher limits than other lenders. Two, they have a great rewards point system with some of the best transfer partners out there. Three, Chase is also known to approve fairly new businesses. And my favorite thing about Chase is that they'll approve you for business funding products with no documentation. But this new update could completely change everything. If they're now going to be reporting balances on business credit cards to your personal, much like Capital One does, it may not be as advantageous to hold Chase business credit cards as it was in the past. All of these instances of Chase business cards now reporting to the personal credit have all occurred in the last week or two. And as I stated, it seems to only be affecting the Chase Inc. business credit card. And as far as data points go, Chase typically pulls from the Experian Credit Bureau when you go to apply for their cards. But these reported accounts that are popping up are only showing on cardholders' Equifax and TransUnion credit profile. And this is strange in itself. As someone who operates in this credit space every day, this makes me think about a few things. One, why are all these cases popping up at the same time? Secondly, why would they be reporting to the two credit bureaus that Chase doesn't even normally pull from. It leads me to believe that this very well may be a mistake on Chase's behalf, as opposed to a long-term change to their overall business lending procedures, which I think is probably the best outcome of this situation. Now, let's talk about what you need to do if you find yourself in this situation. Within a few hours of recording this, there have been more updates on this situation. Cardholders have reported that after speaking with Chase representatives, they have confirmed that this is an internal error and system glitch. But we don't know for sure how long it's going to take for them to retroactively fix this, if at all. Which means if you do find yourself in a situation like this, you're going to have to take it upon yourself to follow these next steps to the T. 1, you want to call Chase and make sure you report this incident immediately. 2, you want to make sure that they open and create a ticket for your case specifically and record any documentation attached to it. 3, you may have to wait 30 days or more for your next reporting cycle to update so that it shows that these accounts drop off. But still, that doesn't necessarily mean that card holders whose credit score was negatively affected by this are necessarily going to jump right back to where they are as soon as it stops reporting to their personal credit.
What the
It may still take a few months to get all those points back on the credit score, so just be prepared. But because this is still such a new occurrence, there isn't many data points around the turnaround time and exactly how long it's going to take to create and complete these tickets. Now, even though this just seems to be a blip on the radar, it does go to show you just how quickly things can change in the business credit landscape. And it reinforces the fact of just practicing good habits when it comes to all of your credit cards. And that includes both the business and personal ones. Here are a few tips to follow just to make sure you don't get tripped up if something like this were ever to happen to you. Most importantly, just make sure that you're not overspending on your credit cards and that anything that you swipe on, you can pay back with cash. Don't hold balances on your credit cards for too long of a time. 1, because you're going to get killed with interest over the long run. 2, once again, you just never know when something like this can happen. So yeah, you always want to be able to pay back the debt on your card just in case it does start popping up on your personal credit and affecting your utilization. And remember, even when this does go back to normal, your business debt still can be tied back to your personal report if you become delinquent on your business accounts. But honestly, none of this even matters if you can't get approved for business credit in the first place. So if you've been struggling to obtain business credit and you want the step-by-step blueprint to how I accumulated over 6 figures of it, watch this video next. I'm gonna break down the exact process you need to follow if you wanna consistently get approved for business credit and unlock the capital necessary to take your business and life to the next level. Let's get it.